protesters have taken to the streets demanding equal rights and the end of suppression. And the movement continues as we recognize Juneteenth.
155 years ago today, the last U.S. slaves were set free. A day of celebration now marked by a call for true freedom.
And we brought you stories all day long through a 360 lens. And tonight, Denver 7's Addie Guajardo brings those voices together as we honor the end of America's darkest days.
The chants for change and cries for freedom echoed across the nation, a struggle passed down generation to generation. And today, in honor of Juneteenth, united with force and a fist in the air, silence rose. In droves, Americans no longer pleading,
Michael Noel,
but demanding change.
Letting the world know that we are determined to be free.
Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement, breaking racial boundaries, but many African Americans feel shackled to their roots. You'll hear from a reverend, a professor, and a demonstrator. Tonight, we take a 360 look at the significance of this Juneteenth. The fight for freedom dates back decades, so let's go back in time to the 60s, when Reverend James Peters marched along hundreds on the front lines.
The March on Washington was the height of it.
Under the leadership of Martin Luther King, they rose.
Martin, in that I Have a Dream speech, touched on all of the bases. But basically, one of the things he was saying is that we want to cash the check. What does America owe us? As they say in poetry, let me count the ways.
And while they've experienced progress, he says to this day, the freedom check keeps bouncing.
The economics of our society keeps us locked in. And so we are still second-class citizens.
It's why Dr. April Alexander, a leader of Black Lives Matter 5280, is tasking people to honor and learn from this movement.
Celebrate that, and then thinking about what steps we need to take as a community in liberation of Black people.
I hear the word of God say, don't be weary, don't give up.
The battle for equality has been fought by the young and the old, and with times come changes. The movement fueled on the streets runs rampant online and is growing in diversity.
There's so much unity right now in the community where we have Latino people advocating for Black lives, Asian people advocating for Black lives.
LGBTQ community.
Exactly, like the communities, we all came together because we understood like the issues.
Now, there are two more perspectives we want to share with you tonight. The first is far too common. It was emailed to us by a man named Larry. These are his words. Your Black anchor should not have a platform to give her opinion about Black justice. Black people are for only Black people. Of course, he's talking about Jessica Porter. And Jessica, I interpreted this as Black people only support Black people. And as a Latina and as a journalist, I can tell you we care about Black injustices and inequalities. And I saw these demonstrations while I covered the protests. So I want to make some time so you can share your perspective with us tonight.
Thank you, Addie. I mean, you can look out into any crowd of protesters across the country right now, and you'll see a wide range of demographics. And that's because Black issues are American issues. And movements for social justice, equal education, and to uplift people out of poverty improve our entire country, no matter what your skin color is. Now, I want to repeat what I said during our 5 p.m. newscast that sparked this very conversation. Juneteenth means to me a celebration of freedom, of Black excellence, and the continued fight for equality. Times are changing, and yes, I have a platform, and I will continue to use it to focus on the positive and be a part of the very excellence we are celebrating today. Now, these are tough conversations, but they are important to have so we can grow. We want to know, what does Juneteenth mean to you? Send us an email, 360@thedenverchannel.com.